Big C, you're in a different spot, dude.
I'm in an undisclosed location.
You in hiding? Are they looking for you?
Yeah,
Finally?
I am. Yeah, no, no. That kitchen, Smokey. This is the bandit. No, I am to be able to keep the store open. I'm staying in a hotel right next to it. Snow
Uh-oh.
Apocalypse 2025 is here. So we got that going for us. So Snow Apocalypse
That's right,
2020.
folks. Right now, it's Thursday night. The snow is falling. But to keep you warm, we got the Hog Slop podcast with Big C and Bigger T. We're gonna keep you warm tonight.
No.
And talking some Razorbacks, talking some other stuff too. We'll talk some other college playoffs, some NFL playoff, things like that too.
While we're a little late this week getting the podcast out, we're going to talk about it.
That's right.
But you know what we need
And
you to do? We need them to do, Travis.
what do we need to do?
We need them to stop what you're doing.
Collaborate and listen.
No, 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 no,
Oh,
no,
don't collaborate.
and not in the name of love either.
That's right.
And also not hammer time. We need you to like this video or
Yes.
or podcast. Hey, you know what? Throw us a 5-star if you're on iTunes
Yes.
or Apple Podcast.
Yes.
Do that, and then you know
Or
what?
Spotify.
You see that subscribe button? Hit that button, kid.
Click it.
Hit that button, kid.
Click it. Click it good.
Click it. All right.
All right, folks. Well, hey, how about some music? And then we'll get started with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. You've ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you a change his name. You ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you a change his
What's up, everybody? It's the Hog Slop podcast with your boy Big C and Bigger T. How you doing out there, folks? It's Snowmageddon, and we're staying warm, and we're here to keep you warm with the Hog Slop podcast in the Slop House. I'm your boy Bigger T, joined as always by my man Big C from an undisclosed location. What's up,
Undisclosed.
buddy?
It is definitely not room 130 of the Hampton Inn. Definitely not.
For those of y'all that are out there want to send a DoorDash,
Yeah. Listen, I know. Can you get this sliced up and out tonight? That way, just people will send me random food.
That's
No,
right.
no. I was walking over here in Three Ponies, the Mexican restaurant over here. It was closed. Looked like McAllister's was closed. So
Oh wow,
so it looks like if I get hungry, I'm just gonna stay that way.
that's right. Yeah.
So which is
Oh, wow.
probably a good thing. Good thing. I'll just hammer back my waters. But we're a little late getting the podcast out this week, Travis.
We are.
And there's two reasons. Number one, you kind of halfway wonder you had something going on Tuesday. I don't know what it was. I'm sure it was super duper important. And I'll be honest with you, I was trying to come up with something sarcastic to make it, and I just couldn't come up with anything on the fly. So
Yeah.
you get a pass, my friend. But it is probably really super important, so I shouldn't be making jokes about it. But
I had meetings.
you had meetings, and I'm making jokes about everything. It'll be like Clint, you're dying of cancer, and I'll be like, well, at least I'm not a midget. I don't know, but that would be me. Anyway, so number one, talked about recording last night after you got done with church, and I kind of didn't want to, because I'm a teenage girl, and I wanted to watch the finale of the challenge. So I'm not going to spoil it.
Yet.
I'm not going to spoil it. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was a good episode. And then Monday night, we talked. You when we record. Then I said, "Man, I really don't want to," because it was the premiere of Raw on Netflix.
Raw on Netflix. Now I got a quick
Yeah.
question, and before you say how that went,
Yeah,
like, is Raw going to Netflix? Is that a positive thing? Because in my mind, I don't see it as a positive thing for Raw.
Well, um, they got $5 billion with a B.
Well, that never mind. That's a positive thing.
Yeah, so I'm just saying
Yeah.
that's what it is. And I mean, obviously, Netflix. Let's just me and you are of an age. I mean, this is getting in. We're going to get into the get off my lawn a little bit
Yeah.
earlier than expected, apparently. But
Mm-hmm.
but no, but me and you grew up at a time when like literally there was 4 7-Eleven, and then cable became a thing.
Yeah.
And then if you lived in a rural area, you had to put a satellite dish that I wouldn't even describe it because you describe some old TVs as pieces of furniture. What would you describe an old satellite dish as?
Yard art.
Yeah, I mean, like gigantic. I mean,
Like
like
a landscaping
yeah. I
something.
mean,
Yeah.
but it was like what you see at a TV station. I mean, a
Yeah.
gigantic one, and then it became, just
The
then you
small
had
dish.
direct
Yeah.
TV, a smaller dish, and then all that. Now everything's going wireless, and streaming is just where it's at now. And I guess Netflix with the Paul Tyson fight, and then they're doing some football games. I guess they're just trying to they're investing heavily
Yeah, and
in
you're
that.
right. I mean, this is part of that process, I guess. I guess, but it's still there's a lot of people have Netflix though. You're right. And
So
not everybody used to have ESPN, and now and people complain about Monday Night Football going to ESPN, and now
yeah,
that's no one gripes about that anymore. So it's
no,
just
it
the way
just
it's going.
yeah. I mean that's the way it's going. I mean, a lot of people were upset last year when there was a playoff game exclusively on Peacock.
Yeah,
But I mean anymore. I mean, I me being me, I'm a wrestling fan, always have been.
mm,
So I keep Peacock, and the reason I keep Peacock and I'll never get rid of Peacock is because WWE shows all their pay per views on there,
yeah,
uh, all their premium live, and they call them premium live events now because of you know
yeah,
yours not really not the traditional pay per view model. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
I pay $10 a month or whatever. I pay $15 a month to Peacock, and I get all the WWE pay per views for free, so it's
yeah,
worth it to me.
yeah.
Because I'm that big of a fan. But Monday night was a lot of nostalgia on Netflix.
Hmm.
A lot of the guys were out. A lot of legends are out to rock. The Rock came back. People love The Rock. John Cena came back. People love John Cena. The Undertaker made an appearance.
Oh well.
Everybody loves, and then there was Hulk Hogan, who
I heard that didn't go so well.
did not go well, and a lot of people blame it on Hulk's political leanings, speaking at the Republican National Convention and such.
Yeah,
Uh, and he was in California, which is a more liberal place. But the thing was, the Undertaker also publicly endorsed Donald Trump and
yeah,
had him on his podcast, and they didn't boo the Undertaker.
yeah.
And it wasn't like boo. It was like, we do not want to see you. Go away.
Hmm.
And a lot of that because he still has he's got the past. It turns out a lot of people, Hogan wasn't the greatest guy in the world to work with.
Yeah,
And he refused to put people over, and literally started the downfall of WCW because of it.
yeah,
Because he wouldn't let go. And plus, he had that tape that came out where he was saying a bunch of racial slurs that shouldn't have been said. So I think it's more or less just people just don't like Hulk Hogan like they used to. It's a nice, I mean,
it's a whole new world for him, right?
it's
Because
a whole new world.
yeah,
And but he was looking rough.
yeah.
Jimmy Hart, I believe, is 80 years old, and both those men were on the stage. And if you asked me who I thought would win if them two tussled, my money would have been on Jimmy Hart. I'm just, I'm just saying it was on Jimmy Hart.
Jimmy
But
Hart,
yeah,
former musician.
did he wrote a lot of the WWE, WWF theme songs. Jimmy
Yeah.
Hart.
Before he got into wrestling, he was in some kind of a 60s, 50s group or something like that.
Yeah.
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 Well, Clint also this week was Elvis's birthday.
Oh man.
He would have been 90 years old.
Ooh, good run,
Or if
Tennessee.
you believe the conspiracies, he is 90 years old and he's
Here's not here.
the pastor of a church in Salem Baptist Church in Benton, Arkansas, by going by the name of Bob Joyce. Have you heard this?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard this.
Okay,
This is,
get on YouTube sometime and look up Bob
oh,
Joyce. Okay.
yeah.
There's a guy that people think that he's Elvis, and he's just a preacher in Benton. Like, and people go to his church all the time thinking they're
So,
gonna see Elvis.
so you know what crazy conspiracy theory like that I somewhat believe
What's that?
Bill, Billy the Kid,
Oh yeah,
like
the
Brush,
Billy the Kid one. Yeah,
but Brushy Bill. I'm not saying it's Brushy Bill, but I wholeheartedly believe that he got away.
especially since it was Pat Garrett, supposedly the one that killed him, and they were good friends. You know, so that Pat would have, maybe killed someone else and put it
Yeah,
in his place or
I
something.
am basing this all off Young Guns too.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, 110%.
yeah.
If you ask me my source,
Young Guns
Emilio,
too. That's right.
Emilio,
Well, I've done a little more research than that. Just,
and
I mean, but
LDP,
not
baby,
much,
LDP.
but a little bit more because when Young Guns 2 came out, I got interested about it, so I started looking stuff up on it.
Yeah.
And there is some, there's some things out there that, yeah, it could be. You never know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, and this guy Bob Joyce, it's an interesting thing. I'm telling you. Just if I don't get into conspiracy stuff, but uh, I like I like hearing about conspiracy stuff because of the way people believe in them. It's kind of like watching Finding Bigfoot. Like they're never gonna find Bigfoot, but like I would go to one of those Bigfoot like deals where the people that have seen Bigfoot supposedly and everything, because those people believe it so much that I'm like this is good people watching.
Yeah.
And like those people on Finding Bigfoot, out there hitting trees with sticks and making weird noises, and then they hear some noise, which is probably some limb falling. They think that's Bigfoot answering us. Like, no, you're not in the woods at night. That stuff
You're like
happens.
the guys on Ghost. There's that protoplasm. That
Yeah, that's right.
protoplasm.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, well,
Or maybe that was
Clint.
a South Park episode about ghost hunters. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Clint, let's talk about some Razorback stuff, man. Fans are a little. We're some of the ones that were griping about Pittman and griping about football. They're getting to gripe some more about basketball, Clint.
Yeah.
I mean, we go out and we hire arguably one of the greatest coaches of our generation, and we're not doing so hot right now. He brings in some star-studded lineup, and we start off the SEC 0-2.
Well, and one of those losses was ugly. Tennessee
Yeah,
basically made us call him daddy.
that's right.
Like it was bad.
Well, and then they turn around and get the same treatment from Florida. How nuts was that? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
They got beat by Florida the same way we got beat by
Oh
Tennessee.
wow.
Tennessee.
So I've been paying attention. I've been apparently under a rock, and then we lose last night to hated Ole Miss
Yeah.
at home. Um, I'm not hitting the panic button yet, but I am concerned.
Yeah.
But here's the reality of the situation. It's hard to say that these kids had never played together before because, like, most of the team was together in Kentucky last year. It's basically a lot of Kentucky players.
Three of them.
Three of them, but I mean, everybody in college basketball is dealing with the same crap.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody is. I don't know if they're just not meshing.
Well, no, really,
well.
just two of them were at Kentucky.
Wagner
and
Wagner, Z, and Thero.
Was Thero at Kentucky last year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So sorry, three then.
So three, but I mean, so this would largely be the same team that you have at Kentucky. Um, man, it just I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
have an answer. I don't know enough basketball. I tell you what, it really does seem they're getting blown by a lot on the drive, and the announcers were bringing that up last night.
Yeah.
And the help defense isn't getting over, so there's stuff to work on. And here's the thing: if me and you've played a video game before, and if you run, you find that play that's just like, okay, when I gotta have it, this works.
Yeah.
And you have a play on the video game, and you gotta have it, it works. I mean, but the same things in life, calling plays. It's like, okay, the blow by. I mean, just go down there and blow by them, and they're doing it nonstop.
Yeah.
They're just doing it, and we're like, we're going to keep running until you stop it, and we're not stopping it.
Yeah.
So got to see some adjustments, some coaching. So there's some things in there that need to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It's just it's. And by the way, the SEC is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
In basketball. I mean, we play 16 SEC games. We're gonna finish. We're gonna see that at least 12 more times. Teams of that caliber, at least 12.
Oh, yeah. At least. Oh,
At least 12 more
more.
times. I think South Carolina's not that great. And
They're still, I mean, and that's the thing, Clint, and it's the truth of the matter. Look, you're exactly right. This team is not playing up to its potential. Now there's some things going on. Big Z was hurt last night and barely didn't get to play hardly at all. That's your help defense on those drives, having a 7-2 guy not there. Also Davis, people have been complaining about him. From what I understand, he's got a hurt wrist. Okay. That's a serious thing for a basketball player. Okay. Your wrist is important. So, he played a little better last night, but he's had some struggles. Okay. But you're right. I mean, this team is not gelling like you would like it to be, like you would hope it to be, by the time SEC play comes around. Muss had some of these same problems. Okay. You know, we saw that. The hope is they start gelling. I mean, because really, I think the talent's there. I think it's a talented team. I just think they're not. They're just not gelling yet. I mean, they're not doing some basic things, and that's what Cal seems to keep saying, right? In his post game press conferences,
yeah,
he's very honest about. Look, we're not doing this. We're not doing that. We're not. Here's where we're struggling.
isn't it nice to have two head coaches that are almost too honest?
Yeah, yeah.
And
it seems to make the fans madder, though, Clint. It seems to like people get madder about that. I'm like, man,
would you rather have Chad Morris up here going, well,
yeah.
We have this Every, and I'm
We're
never
gonna
getting
we're
mad
gonna
about
keep
a
the
win.
standard. The standard's the standard.
We freaking win by 7 against Portland State. Portland State win by 7. I don't ever apologize for a win. I mean, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't get me off on that.
Anyway, but
you're gonna put me in a
the other
bad
thing
mood.
you brought up's important for us to remember too. We just played two teams in the SEC. The SEC, there's talk by the national commentators that the Southeastern Conference may be the best conference we've ever seen this year in 2024, 2025, ever, top to bottom.
And
In
Trav,
history.
you bring up something that I think we're going to hit on, because there's a reason why the basketball talent is the greatest ever. So, how many ways are there to make money in basketball?
There's quite a few ways.
I mean, I'm saying, but you can play Europe, you can play everywhere. It's not like football. There's probably more opportunity to play basketball as a profession than any other sport.
Yeah.
I would say that. I think you talk about the number of.
You could argue baseball because of the extensive minor league system. I mean, there's a lot of players in the minor league system.
Yeah, but I also think, I mean, I don't know, but it's an astronomical number.
But you don't have the worldwide. You're right. I mean, you're talking world. You're talking about. You got leagues in Germany and the Ukraine and Spain and
China and Russia.
Russia. Yeah.
I mean, but there's leagues all over Europe. I mean, they're like literally but so like So now you got a kid that's going into his third year. He's like, well, I'm not going to go to the NBA. He can either go pro and go play in Europe. Like for example, like Devo Davis probably had an opportunity to go play in Europe, but he hit the transfer portal, went to Oklahoma State
Mhm.
because now you can make money playing in college.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see deeper college teams because some of this talent that would go play in Europe is going to stay and they're going to play a couple extra years because
They can live in the United States and make money instead of
yeah,
going over to.
if I was a marginal second round pick, if I was like Jalen Williams a couple years ago, it was like, yeah, you're probably gonna get drafted in the early second round, but you'll get drafted second round. Why not come back? You
Yeah.
probably make more money being, selling cars for Cowboy Automotive than you will,
Mm.
on a two-way contract.
Well, I'll tell you another thing with the Southeastern Conference that's going on, Clint. A few years ago, there was a challenge kind of put out to the schools to upgrade the coaches because the coaches in the SEC wasn't all that great. And you talk about upgrading coaches. SEC schools have put the money out. Think about the top coaches in college basketball right now. Okay. Outside of the SEC, you got Bill Self, you
Hurley,
got Hurley, a couple others here and there. Okay.
yeah.
Waiting to see on Pope. I mean, no, he's at Kentucky, so he's at SEC.
I mean, I
But I
would put
mean,
Muss on that. I'd put Muss on that list.
okay, must. But think about just in the SEC what you got. You got Cal, you got Beard, you got Nate Oates,
Yeah.
Barnes, Porter Moser now. Okay. I mean, he's one of the, he's not the same tier as Cal and Beard probably, but he's right next, and
I
he would
put
be
him. I put
next.
him like on a tier with like Musselman, for example.
Yeah.
I'd
And
probably put
so,
him. I'd probably put him above Musselman, to be honest.
and then, I mean, you got, I'm missing some too. Okay. I mean, you got Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
You got, I'm missing some, I know, but I mean, there's some good coaches in the SEC now.
Yeah.
These aren't, and so like last night, that was a game against Ole Miss that, we might have had a chance to win if there was a lesser coach on that other sideline.
Yeah.
There was a couple times we were coming back in the second half. We had a lead earlier in the game. There was times that we could have maybe turned the corner on them, and especially playing at home. But Cal's not coaching against some of the guys he used to coach against in the SEC. He's not. That's not John Pelfrey. Okay,
Yeah.
that's Chris Beard.
Yeah.
Arguably, me and you have both said we think he's. I mean, heck, I I would possibly. I mean, I would have been just as happy to have him as I did Cal.
Right. Yeah. No,
If
that's
not,
a lot.
if not happier because he's younger.
Yeah, a
No,
lot. Yeah, no, I would agree. I'd agree with you there. I mean, no, you're right. The coaching is stacked, and you know what? And in the age of NIL, you know what a bunch of old rich men love doing? They love winning, and they love their
yep.
teams winning. So they are ponying up the NIL money for players. They are. And,
Well, and I mean, you think about it. Our basketball team, from what I understand, has as big of an NIL pot as the football team does.
yeah.
And there's only 11 scholarship players on the basketball team. Okay.
That's why. But you're going to see potentially more of those guys come back next year.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Carter Knox, Billy Richmond. You can really see them come
Yeah.
back next year. So it may take a year or two for really to get going.
Yeah.
But I think you give Calipari time. We're going to. I mean, they ain't going to get rid. He can lose the rest of his games. We're not getting rid of him. But
Yeah. So our message to the fans is: look, yes, is reason to be concerned, but one of the reasons to be concerned is it doesn't get in much easier from here. No, we're not going to play the number one team every week like we did against Tennessee, but the number one team just went down to Florida and got their butts whooped, just like they
yeah,
whooped our butts. Okay. And then don't we have Florida coming in this weekend? or
Believe
we
so.
go to Florida or whatever. Okay, so
I don't know.
anyway, we got them coming up. So it's not going to get much easier. Okay, so this could be a tough. This is going to be a tough. I mean, they're saying 7-11 would be a good SEC uh and get you into the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's and they're talking about everyone's predicting anywhere from 10 to 12 SEC teams making the tournament. That's crazy.
But I mean, it's realistic. I mean, I think if you look at just Arkansas's body of work non-conference,
Yeah.
the SEC as a whole's body of work
Oh yeah,
non-conference.
that's why they're talking about them being one of the best conferences because the non-conference schedule SEC had the best record they've had ever, I think,
Yeah,
in non-conference, or at least since they've been looking at that. So, all right, Clint, here's the other thing going on right now. College
like
football
literally right.
playoff. This is going on, and they started the game.
They started the game. Yes, sir.
Touchdown, Jesus. Oh, sorry. No, so Notre Dame is playing Penn State right now as we're recording this. And
Yes,
then
sir.
Ohio State's going to play those ugly Longhorns. That's one of those games I wish would just end in a tie and they would just give it to the winner of the game tonight. But they're not going to do that. Uh, I won't get my way on that one.
Yeah. No, no, you were definitely pulling for Oregon and Arizona State.
Yeah. So
So we're
dadgummit.
going. So we are going to make our picks on all the. I bet you I can get the NFL games off the top of my head. I bet you don't even pull that up, Travis. Steel trap right here.
Oh, I
So,
got them.
well, I can't Google it because I'm recording on my phone tonight. But so me and Travis have agreed that we are going to pick all the playoff games, NFL and college, just so Travis can lose to me in another contest. No, you actually won college pick 'em. So
Yeah.
and you
All right.
usually beat me at basketball. So
All right. So here, who do you got tonight's game? That
okay,
we're
I am going to take Notre Dame. I really do. Uh, I'm really impressed with Riley Leonard, and I just think Notre Dame's got it.
well, my second favorite team is Notre Dame. If uh I had a starter jacket in high school, there was a Notre Dame starter jacket. And I was a Notre Dame fan because I had Channel 4 and didn't have cable at my house. And I could watch Notre Dame games every week. So the same reason a lot of people are Atlanta Braves fans or Chicago Cubs fans because of the cable stations. I'm a Notre Dame fan, back in the Jerome Bettis, Ricky Waters, Rick Meyer days. Okay. So I'm going to say Notre Dame. I'm going to root for them. I'm always going to root for them after the Hogs. Unless they play the Hogs, then I'll root for the Hogs. But so touchdown, Jesus. Notre Dame, baby. And
And by the way,
so
the score is 0-0. So I've like
yeah.
it's not like it's into the fourth quarter in case me and him are both
Okay.
right.
So then the next one is Ohio State and Texas. Who do you got in that game?
Dude, I just want to let everybody know how bad I feel for Quinn Ewers. I feel like he's like the Fresh Prince on that episode of Fresh Prince. Like, well, they want me, man. I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
he's
Yeah.
got him in the college football semifinals, and no one in Texas wants him to be.
Yeah.
But all the man does is keep winning, unless they're playing Georgia, which they're not. So I'm picking Texas.
Well, I'm gonna go against you, even though I don't like Ohio State, mainly because I went to the Sugar Bowl and I got to be around Ohio State fans, and I didn't like none of them. I mean,
No,
none of
I
them.
heard they're not great people.
They're not. I mean, there were these twin brothers that my buddy Matt Sandifer I thought was going to pick up and throw to the bottom of the Superdome from where we were sitting because they were acting like idiots. And I thought, okay, they must be drunk. But then I noticed the whole game, all they were drinking was water. They didn't drink not one alcoholic beverage the whole time, and I'm thinking, okay, either they were drunk before they got here, or those guys are just jerks in real life. Like, they
Turns
don't
out it's
need
probably the
so.
latter.
But however, I think Ohio State's a better team,
Okay.
and I'm not rooting for either one of these to win.
No, I hope they both lose.
I'm gonna root for whoever wins the Notre Dame Penn State game to beat
I'm
them.
I'm for an earthquake to end this game. I
Yeah.
really am.
So I'm gonna go with Ohio State. So I'll be different than you on that
Oh,
one. Okay.
cool.
All right. So in the NFL, some of the NFL here. Let's start with the NFC. We got the Vikings playing the Rams.
How ridiculous is it that the Minnesota Vikings are 14-3?
Yeah, and they're the
And
five
they're
seed.
having looks like this one is going to be played in Arizona, Glendale, Arizona. So it's going to be a neutral site game. Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, I just think, like, look, they're not going to have two bad games like they did back to back.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah,
I agree with you. I'm gonna go Minnesota also. I think. The Rams are good, but they've. I'm not sure exactly how healthy they are. I know they've had some injuries this year that made them start out the season struggling. But anyway, the next one is the Washington Commanders. That's still hard to say for me against the Buccaneers. Who do you got in that one?
man, can you imagine for years struggling to find a quarterback to lead your franchise?
Yeah, I can.
Only to watch him win a playoff game for
Oh,
another team. Give me Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, anytime you tie a record that belongs to Jerry Rice, you've done something. Even if it was kind of cheesy way to get it at the end, no one's complaining about it.
yeah,
Congratulations, Mike Evans.
yeah. And you start wondering why Johnny Football looks so good at A&M. It's because he was throwing to that dude a lot.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I agree with you. I'm going with Baker and the Buccaneers because I think they're a good squad, and I think they're a good team. I think they play well together. I think the way they were fighting uh, for him to get that record last week is as a team, and the way that they responded after he got it is a sign of how close they are as a group. So yeah,
Yeah.
and that's hard to find in the NFL a lot of
Well,
times.
Baker Mayfield's a terrific leader.
Yeah. All right, Green Bay and Philly.
I think this could be the backup quarterback bowl. I think, Love's his thumb the last game, I believe. And then Kenny Pickett may be playing because Hurts is in concussion protocol still.
Yeah.
I just Barkley's going to make the difference.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows he would have got the record had he played last week.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Eagles.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles also. All right. In the AFC, we got the Chargers with Harbaugh, first year coach, or
Yep.
first year for them anyway, leading them to the playoff against the Houston Texans and the young CJ Stroud.
He's kind of hit that sophomore slump this year.
Mm.
It's like, but it is at Houston, but I still think the Chargers just have a better squad. I'm going to go with San Diego.
Yeah, I trust. I think I'm gonna trust San Diego on this one too. I think that would be my pick there. But it's gonna be a close one.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of hope. I like Stroud. I think he's a good kid. I think
Well,
he's a
yeah, I think
good
Stroud's a good quarterback. I just think
good
he's
quarterback.
struggling this year. He's
Yeah,
having struggles, which is, But here's the thing. Since the day, I mean, they have film. There's NFL coaches that have seen this high school film.
Yeah.
So everybody's got film on you. But as you show how you do against NFL talent and test against NFL talent, they study you more and more and more and more and more. So he'll adapt and he'll get better. But, he's having them struggles right now.
Yeah. All right. The next one is Pitt and Baltimore. And I feel about this one almost the same way I do, almost not quite as passionately, but almost the way I do about the uh the college the Texas Ohio State game.
Man, it was such a good start for us, and then it's just kind of fell apart here recently. And so go ahead and give me Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Baltimore also. I don't think Pittsburgh's got it. Uh, I don't trust I trust Jackson more than I do Russ in the playoff.
Yeah.
So um especially right now. And then you got Denver led by a young Bo Nix, who's gradually getting better and better. Sean Payton's working his magic with him, but he's playing Josh Allen and the Bills.
Yeah, I just, I don't know who's the best team in the NFL, but I do know the Buffalo Bills are probably in the top three.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen is just the man. Um, Give me Buffalo.
I'm with you there. I'm going with Buffalo also. I really like the way Josh Allen plays and have since he started. So anyway, so that's the first round. We'll do the next round next week when we include KC and Detroit in the mix. But anyway, yeah, man. Those will be some. I think those will be some good games, though, man. Those are some quality matchups. I mean, you got Baker versus Daniels. I mean, you got you know Pitt and Baltimore is always a good game. They're going to come to play. I mean, there's all of these games are going to be good matchups, man. It's going to be some fun football to watch.
No, so you think are the Cowboys finally going? Are they going to get rid of McCarthy, or are they going to?
Man, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't.
It is like they are bungling that at every turn.
Oh yeah. Hey, did you hear about kind of a little bit of changing the subject? I've been watching Landman. Have you been watching that at
I
all?
haven't started it yet.
Okay.
I'm going to start it. I know you said
in the latest episode, this isn't necessarily a spoiler. Well, it's not a spoiler. It's out there that he's on it. Jerry's on it. Okay. And he gives a speech that is, man, you start to feel for the guy. Like he's the reason I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore. Okay. He's the reason I'm not a Cowboys fan. In high school, I rooted for the Cowboys and the Browns. They were my two teams. The Cowboys were good at that time. They were better, especially at that time. And so I was rooting for the Cowboys. My senior picture in the school yearbook, I was wearing a Dallas Cowboy t-shirt. Okay. So I rooted for the Cowboys. But when he fired Bill Parcells, I was done with him. Okay, when he let Bill Parcells go and didn't let Bill Parcells coach, because I think Bill Parcells is one of the greatest coaches of all time. When that happened, I was like, okay, he's done too much. Did that Jimmy Johnson, all that. But I tell you, he goes on this little deal as he plays himself, and of course in it, but he's talking to John Hamm in it and talking about family and why he bought the Cowboys, why he did what he did in the oil business, and why he keeps his family as part of it. And man, It's a good speech, Clint.
All
It's
right.
on you. Just that section of it's on YouTube if you ever get a chance.
I'm going. I'm definitely. I started to watch it the other day, and then I decided I wanted to play Xbox. So,
Yeah.
um, you know,
Landman's really good. The last episode's coming on Sunday, but
cool. Good.
anyway,
Good.
it's
Yeah, I'll be getting ready to binge watch it. We are still 0-0, Travis.
yeah, yeah. I got it on my phone here too. So well, Clint, man, the Hogs, as far as the transfer portal, they added two more, I think, or a couple, well, three more.
Yeah.
They added a lineman, they added a safety from Auburn, and they added a receiver from Stanford. Now
No, and
that puts the receiver numbers up there. I think they're expecting a couple. I bet they cull a couple of receivers after spring. Uh,
there's no telling. No, they've got no. And I tell you, I think the team's going to be. I'm looking forward to next season. I mean, the schedule's going to be daunting, but I think
yeah,
I do think Ole Miss is going to have taken a step back.
yeah,
I say that. I mean, I say that goes darts leaving, and I think, but who knows? I mean,
yeah,
Lane may have just reloaded. And also, I think Missouri's going to take a step back, and I think the schedule will be a little bit more favorable. No, it's still going to be murderous, really. But it's the SEC. It's always going to be
yeah.
difficult.
Yep, it's gonna be tough, but we'll see. I mean, we just got to see what they do with these guys. That's
So,
that's all we got to. That's all we can do. Just hope that they got pick the right guys and that they're the guys that fit the system and fit everything well, and go from there.
there you
So, Clint, man, enjoy the snow. Well,
go. I will.
you're not even get to be home with the
I can't
animals
even.
and
Well,
stuff.
I'll be able to get out tomorrow and get. I mean, I'll be able to get home tomorrow, hopefully. If not, Saturday, and I'll play on the 4-wheeler in the snow. So for sure.
It's gonna maybe be tough getting up Horseshoe Mountain in the snow.
That's why I told him. I said, "Look, guys, I gotta get a hotel because if I can get on top of that mountain, I ain't getting back down."
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I'm sure the Greenbrier's finest are sanding it and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Well, I mean, they usually do. I mean, my route to work would be pretty clear because they keep mountain pretty clear, and then
Yeah.
65 and boom, boom. So, but
Yeah.
they've got to finish doing what it's going to do, and then they can start cleaning it. So,
Yeah.
and I don't think they're saying 8 to 12 inches, which would be impressive.
Yeah.
So,
Would be. Hopefully it's just snow. Hope it's just snow.
yeah, I
We'll
think
see.
so. Right now, that's all it is. I walked over here, and so
Yeah. Well, man, have fun at the Hampton Inn. Don't get the cops called on you or nothing.
I'm gonna do my best.
Getting too wild.
Now I'm gonna go down there and see if there's any nutter butters behind the desk. So.
Yeah, they got now. It's cool. A lot of these hotels have those little snack bars and some drinks you can buy instead of having to go to a vending machine. It's a
Right?
lot
Yeah. No,
better.
yeah.
Sometimes they even have little microwavable stuff or whatever if you need it, but you know that may be bought out. My mom wanted me to get her a Walmart delivery called in today, and I got on there and they're not taking any deliveries till Monday, so they're packed up till Monday. I was like, well, Mom, you're just gonna have to deal with what the place you're staying's feeding you, groceries you got. So anyway, well, man, Clint, have a great one, dude. Enjoy.
What number's this?
This is 184, I believe.
184
I
in the
think so.
can. Boom. You're
And we're getting
welcome.
close to 200, man. We're working our way up there.
Ooh, 200. We're going to get a special
This
guest.
this spring we'll be up to 200, so that'll be wild. That'll be wild. So, folks, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Let us know what you think. What do you think about our playoff picks for college and pro? What do you think about the basketball team? Are we right on? Are we being sunshine pumpers? We're not being sunshine pumpers. We're being honest. Um, do you like hearing a balanced, or do you want us just to talk negative all the time? We're not going to talk negative all the time. It's just not going to be us. So you have to go to someone else for that. But still, we appreciate you watching, listening, all that good stuff. Clint, peace out, homeboy.
Hi, everybody.
Sweat, work, filthy. hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning, I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of no aches and pain. Lord knows I gotta follow his lead. That's why I swear when I work, my hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no water till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come.